Welcome to NEXTGames video in the surprise entry into the HTMB series, this one covering the A Fond Farewell fight. In this video, I'll go over an overview of A Fond Farewell and how to enter the arena, go over battle strategies for the fight, and then show you a battle example of how to beat this solo on the ninja job with the warrior subjob. In 2019, Square released two new battlefields featuring Lion. The first fight was trivial to complete, but the second was much more of a challenge even for a group. I was able to take on this fight a few times last year solo, but wasn't yet geared well enough to be able to get the win, so I've been anxiously awaiting the return of this fight in 2020. Before you can get into this fight, you will want to beat the first one, which only takes a few minutes and can be done on any job. The first fight can be entered by use of trading a Terrazum orb to the throne room door. The orb can be obtained for 10 monthly login points. Now this fight is trivial and should only take a few seconds on any geared 119 level job. You should be rewarded with a Nourish Dagger. Now to enter A Fond Farewell, you will need a Xenia orb that can be obtained for 100 daily login points in the month of November. That orb will once again be traded to the throne room door to enter this fight. Now the fight is against Lion, but this time she is assisted by Zeed and Aldo. Unlike the first fight, this one is quite the challenge and is comparable in difficulty to most of the very difficult new HTMB battlefields in regards to its difficulty. Now you can take in a party of up to 6 players or summon trust, and you have 30 minutes to take out all 3 enemies. Now if you win this fight, you will get an SP Gabi key and 3 Lion's Roar synth items. Now the Lion's Roar synth items can be used with synergy and the Nourish Dagger to make a new dagger called Isihuva. You also have the chance to win an Infiltrator, which is a new item added to the battlefield as a reward this year if you win the fight. Note that this will not always drop. Make sure you undergo both ROE quests before entering as well. Beating the battlefield is not necessary to complete the ROE quest, only entry. Aldo and Lion do sleep, but build resistance rather quickly, and Zeed is highly resistant to darkness-based sleeps from the start. Killing one of them seems to make the other 2 stronger, and the last one left alive will always be the most challenging by far. This makes the kill order extremely important. With that, let's move on to what you're going to expect to see in this battle. First, let's start with Lion. Lion is a thief that has very good evasion and damage taken reduction. She will use perfect dodge multiple times throughout the fight, and the most dangerous abilities that Lion has access to are Walk the Plank, which will do 500 to 1000 AoE damage and is a full dispel of you and everyone in your party of all your buffs. So they're basically going to have to recast everything. I suggest switching to your evasion gear when you see this happen to buy you some time, as your Shadow's recast timer is going to be high for the next 30 seconds after this. Grape Shot is another dangerous one, which will wipe your Shadows and then stun you for 15 seconds. And then Powder Keg is also dangerous, which will wipe your Shadows and do up to 1500 damage. Now also making things challenging is that she's normally storing TP so that she uses 2 of these abilities back to back. Combos such as Walk the Plank followed by Grape Shot or vice versa can be devastating. To combat these moves, keep Migawari up at all times, as well as Yonin, and use Isikagen as much as you can to buy yourself some time for damage. You will also be spending a considerable amount of time recasting Shadows, but don't let your guard drop and let those Shadows down, as just a few hits before one of her abilities, followed by the ability, can easily take you out. Next, let's discuss Aldo. He is a thief and a ninja with a very fast attack rate. He will use perfect dodge multiple times during the fight, and cast various enfeebling ninjutsu and utsesumi. Now he is very dangerous if he is left alive until last, as his AoE weapon skills will wipe Shadows and do upwards of 3000 damage if he is the last one left alive. Similar to Lion, he will also use these weapon skills back to back, making Migawari not as successful with mitigating the damage. Additionally, he also tends to skill chain with his weapon skills quite often, making him even more dangerous, as that is a 3rd form of massive damage you're going to be taking in a short amount of time. Due to all of this, I suggest you kill him second. You definitely don't want to kill him last. And we're going to talk about Zeed now and why it is you want to kill him first. Now Zeed is a Dark Knight who will use Soul Eater, Blood Weapon, and Soul Enslavement as his abilities. For weapon skills, he will use Ground Strike, Shockwave, and a unique AoE Drain ability that only he uses. He'll also cast spells such as Bio 3, Stun, and Absorb spells, and Zeed is definitely the most dangerous of all of these enemies, as his attacks will randomly spike in damage to do upwards of 70,000 damage. This can occur both on his normal attacks and his AoE weapon skills. If he successfully lands an Absorb spell, the chances of this proccing seem to go up substantially. Therefore, it is critical you do not let him hit you either with his weapon or one of his Absorb spells, and that you need to make sure that you keep Migawari up at all times. Also due to this, he is the first one that you should focus on killing, and use Isekigen right at the start of the fight to get a good chunk of his hit point gone, while not having to recast your shadows quite as much. Now in my battle example, Ninja Warrior is what I chose to show you, but there really are two ways to take on this fight. Now Ninja Warrior is good for survivability, hate holding, and TP gain. You are forced to rely on your ability to keep those shadows up despite having 3 mobs being on you. The most challenging part is definitely that first 3 to 4 minutes. Now with Ninja Black Mage, it's very good for the sleep gut at the start, which will always sleep Lion and Aldo for 30 to 45 seconds, allowing you to focus on Zeed during that time. After they wake, you will then want to use Isekigen to buy the remainder of the time you need to finish off Zeed. They will not sleep a second time, so really the only usefulness in this sub-job is that first initial 30 to 45 seconds that you buy yourself. Now this strategy will lower your DPS, and therefore it's going to make finishing this fight in time a challenge, as usually you only have 1 to 3 minutes remaining when you finish this fight. This means you kind of have to pick your poison, to either have a difficult time at the start of the fight, keeping those shadows up, or a difficult time at the end of the fight, trying to get in enough damage before time runs out. Now the trusts are very specific in this fight, as I found Sylvie was not providing enough healing in order to be able to keep up, so I had to switch back to Yoran Oran. Therefore, the trusts I use in this fight are Joachim and Omia for marches. The reason I'm using both of them is just in case one of them were to die, I really need those marches in order to live through this fight and finish it in time. Korumoru for haste. Also, Koru is the better choice here, as he won't over-enfeeble Lion. It's been noticed that if you use Slow, Paralyze, Blind, and the other enfeebles on Lion, she becomes much more enraged and uses those abilities that are nasty far more often. Therefore, it's usually better to not over-enfeeble her and just leave things like Dia and Urine up on her, so that therefore she uses those abilities less frequently. And in the final slot we have Monburo like usual. Now if you don't have Monburo yet, you should be able to use any other good white mage trust that will stay at a distance, such as Kupipi. Okay, that should be all the information you need in order to take this fight on. This was definitely the most challenging fight I've had to solo in memory, and it's a pleasure bringing it to you all. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the run, everyone. And with just over 1 minute to go, we have done it. Wow, that was a long fight, but it was well worth the year wait. If you've been watching this entire time, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.